get ahead.
Sure.
The utility is store of value, a better
Okay.
store of value, but that runs into those other things. And your question is about the, I'm sorry, about a penalty if you end.
Yes. Yes.
Well, if you, so with Genius, what it's going to look like is you'll go to the DApp, the decentralized application, and you'll tell it, hey, I've got this much Genius. I want to lock it up for a year, or I want to lock it up for 2 years, or I want to lock it up for a month. And all the app will ask you is, okay, how much Genius do you want to lock up? How many days do you want to lock it up for? And what kind of scenario do you want? Like a low risk, low reward scenario or a high risk, high reward scenario? 3 basic questions. How much, how long, and what kind of risk profile you want to do here. And so there's 2 risk profiles here: the low risk, low reward, high risk, high reward. The only risk is really whether or not you're going to need that money in an emergency. So the low risk, low reward, let's call that simple, and the high risk, high reward, let's call that advanced.
Right.
So in the simple scenario, yes, there are fees if you end your stake early or you end your Genius mining early. There are fees. If you're late, there are fees also. Like if you're late collecting your, if you tell the system, I'm going to do this for 2 years, well, 2 years later, you want to do that on time. So simple answer is, in the simple mode, yes, there are fees, and in the worst case scenario, those fees will eat your the interest that you've accumulated or the rewards that you've accumulated.
Okay.
In the advanced mode, the fees can eat into the fees for people who break their promise early, the promise to hold on to these coins for X amount of time. Yeah, worst case scenario is that the fee will eat into their original principal and their interest. Now, whether you're doing simple or advanced stakes, or whether you're doing the simple or advanced mode, you always have the ability to liquidate your position. You always have the ability to start an auction for someone else to carry out your CD for you, or carry out your promise for you, or carry out your time lock for you. And that in turn, the utility of that is, for example, in the hex world, any hexagons are aware of this, that you can end a stake early and you can end up like completely nuking your stake, losing all of your principal, losing all of your interest. And people who do this accidentally are extremely pissed off, of course. And people who are aware of it, they bite the fee when the price of hex is up extremely crazy, so it's fine.
Right.
But in Genius, you're not going to be able to ever be in a situation where you're going to lose all your principal. I mean, you could if you're just like, yes, I want to do that. But the app is going to recommend you to liquidate it. And with doing that, you can become a lot happier and even earn your interest versus the other option. So there's always utility. There's always utility.
It's fantastic. I mean, I look for value in a coin or token in its utility. I mean, there's so many projects out there that have a platform, but they're not necessarily in need of a token, but they create one. This seems like this token is the bedrock. It's the foundation of this platform. So, and I really appreciate you highlighting all of the utilities behind the Genius token, because people need to know what they're investing in, what's the value of the investment, and what's the proposition of the coin that's going to be released with the platform. So this seems very interesting, and I'm looking forward to it launching on Pulse Chain. We need third-party applications, no matter what anybody says. I get into this little debate with people sometimes, and you have a lot of people saying we don't need third-party applications, but you know what?
You do.